Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Industrial Faith. Welcome to episode 7 of Factorio 4X, your 15-minute Factorio fix. So what I'm doing here is fresh off learning that I didn't have enough storage tanks. I'm building another storage tank machine. If I recall, I just leave this one running forever, because that's what you have to do. Invariably, I will probably use more than 50 eventually, as I will undoubtedly have to go further afield for more items. What's going on here is I am actually low. I don't have enough space to do everything. So I'm going to a more advanced oil processing here, and I'm looking at it, nothing's running, and then I remember, in order to process that way, it needs water, and I just didn't put it in there yet. Here I'm getting steel for stuff. And science. Ba-dump. Science. Again, once you get the more advanced oil processing, thanks to Blue Science, you can then you can break the heavy oil down into lubricant and light oil, and then you can break light oil down into petroleum gas. So far as I'm aware, the only other thing you can use light oil for is fuel cells, solid fuel. I haven't mucked around with that. It may be an alternate to, I don't know, coal if you run out of coal and all you have is oil. But coal's pretty, well, there's pretty much coal everywhere. It shouldn't be a problem. So all I'm doing is making sure my oil reserves are good to go. And here I'm looking at, what do I need to do this stuff? Just oil, heavy oil. And at some point I'm going to figure out my refineries aren't actually, refining. I'm creating lubricant. All I'm doing is I'm trying to burn off the heavy oil. Now eventually, do you use lubricants for, what are lubricants used? It's one of the Blue Science, or one of the later tier building things, I guess you could say. I don't remember what it is. Maybe it's one of the engines, or I think it's one of the engines. But you do need lubricants. Since I'm building trains, eventually I'm going to have to use lubricant for the engines, because that's what you do. And here I think I've realized I need one. Now I'm trying to decide where I want to set it up. I had thoughts that eventually I would go ahead and set up, or expand my island further, but I think I'm just going to end up leaving that bay the way it is. And here I'm just trying to rearrange stuff so that it works and isn't terrible. There we go. Alright, adding lights so we can see and you can see. Again, I'm trying to make sure, I'm checking my tank levels. You can get away with having not a lot of processing by storing more and more of the oil, because again, the same way your, brain has stopped working. The same way your assemblers won't output if there's no place to put the finished product, the same thing occurs with petroleum. It'll stop producing petroleum gas if there's no room to store the heavy oil or the light oil. So one of the ways you can get around it and build up a big backlog is to go ahead and build build a lot of storage. So here I'm setting up to crack light oil into petroleum gas. Did I really miss that connection? Because it's looking like it. Oh, hindsight. I'll have to remember when I play again to go back and look at that connection. Unless I fixed it, because I think I set up another machine. Okay. What I really enjoy is each of the models have little neat things that shows they're operating. So I think I'd just take that one down because I'm not producing enough petroleum gas to power to run 2 of them. So I have to. So I just leave those. So I'm looking at what is going on there. There we go. Now I'm out of coal. Now, totally out of coal. See, so this is what could be a death spiral if I had, you know, actual things that would eat my face here. But it's not, so. Now I've got to wait for the coal to get down there, and I'm gonna drop in some more. There you go. Have more coal. So I'm just checking to make sure everything's running, and I realize I'll probably need some more power. And I do have plenty of room to expand my steam engines. Excuse me. And again, I do 13 because that's 99% efficiency, whereas 14 gets you 100% efficiency, but is the extra burner worth it? Not in my book. Not in my book. Here I'm going, oh, I'm out of stuff. Pipes. I'm trying to run water and realize, oh, I just totally moved everything the wrong way. Yay! Okay, everything's running, making little choo-choo noises, which is fantastic. And power's back up to snuff. We've got plenty of coal. We're good to go. Okay, and I'm going to go back here and try and figure out what's going on here. And I just get rid of one of them because obviously I'm full. So I think this is the one where I figure out where the break is. Finally, I've decided, screw this. I'm going to check. I've got to find it. Plastic machines running like gangbusters. Always good. And so right now I'm just trying to find I'm missing science. So obviously I'm missing the green. If you look here, I'm having an issue with green circuits. I'm just not making enough. And that's one of the things you always find is the more basic of the materials you need, you just, for some reason, it's very easy to lose them, to not make enough. And sometimes you'll see me kind of going through here slowly. It's because I'm trying to find stuff that takes the science I have. Now what you can do is if you have stuff or research that only takes blue or reds and greens left, you can sometimes use that and it'll help create a backlog. So what I'm doing is I'm actually upgrading all the inserters with blue inserters, and I'm going to upgrade all the assemblers with blue assemblers, and this is going to speed everything up immensely. It was actually noticeable when I was like, wow, this is crazy. So So for little builds like that, like telephone poles, you don't need blue inserters, or you don't need blue assembly machines. So as you can see, we're getting more more green circuits up there. Everything looks to be good. And I'm looking here and I'm like, there's not enough red here. At some point I'll upgrade the red circuits and go from there. So what I'm doing is what I was talking about, where I'll take stuff off other lines. So here I'm actually going to build some more green circuit manufacturing, and I'm going to do it by taking the copper off the, what do you call it here, the red science line, because obviously there's a lot of overlap here. There we go, and there we go, and I believe I do it again. And I was trying to think of a way where I could just get the copper plate off, but I realized I can't, so I don't. I just extend the chain down, and I say screw it. I'll just have some more. What are those guys? More iron gears. There we go. Everything's running. We're making more. Oh, that's right. I decide, well, whatever, I'll make more red science, because, you know, you need more red science. No, you don't. And now, again, red science runs so slowly, you can go ahead and you can use yellow inserters. You don't have to use blue ones. There's absolutely no reason. Now, you can use blue assemblers, but I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe with the green, definitely with the blue science, but okay, I think I'm looking at building another line, another power line here. There, I'm picking up yellow inserters. Obviously, there's a backlog. I believe I'm doing that so I can build blue insert. No, I'm using yellow inserters because, again, that's all you need for the power. Just the way it's built, you don't need yellow inserters at all. Or you don't need blue inserters. There's no need. So here, I think this is where I start looking at the water and going, I'm just not getting the water. So, or maybe it's later. I don't recall. Again, I found it's always important that each unit gets their own water source. For some reason, again, if you add another one, it doesn't work. I don't get it. I've never understood it, but whatever. There we go. More power. Because one thing you'll find is you never seem to have enough power. And here I'm trying to arrange the poles because they look goofy to me. So I'm looking for symmetry. Now, I believe this is the last upgrade I do to my power. I believe after this I actually start building solar. Or maybe that's only in episode, let's see. Maybe that's in episode 9. I'm trying to think. So here I'm futzing about with the water because I want water. I'm futzing about with the water because I think I'm trying to move them so the pumps aren't so close to each other. But we're making good power, so I kind of go, eh. Some of the later things you do in the game is you just, I build productivity modules in my inventory, but I don't think I ever use them. I think they're still sitting there. One of the things you do is you spend time actually watching your factory. You'll sit there, you'll kind of zoom out, and you'll stare at it because you're like, I want to see what's going on. So... But anyways, Looks like we're wrapping things up here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for the latest episode of Factorio 4X, your 15-minute Factorio fix. My name is Duster Faith, and I thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in another episode. Have a good night, and bye-bye.